There are a couple of small updates for Sasha Banks and Naomi, so we'll see what the latest is there. We'll also check in on the Judgment Day and much more. Let's start things off with a small update for Sasha Banks and Naomi. A Sasha Banks fan that was at a recent edition of Smackdown was on the hard cam side of the crowd, near front row, and had their sign perfectly seen on camera. Their sign read, "Sasha Crew for Life." There was no reports or any rumors about the sign itself being confiscated, but fans did easily pick up on another way WWE got rid of the sign. Fans noticed that WWE posted a picture to their Instagram of that exact moment that the fan had their Sasha Banks sign out. But WWE fully photoshopped the fan's sign, edited the fan's Sasha text out, and replaced the words with a plain white canvas. So when fans saw this WWE picture that featured a fan holding up a blank white sign, everyone went back to the SmackDown footage to try to find out what the sign had previously said. Turns out that it was a Sasha Banks sign. As far as the latest on Sasha Banks, it's nothing but an enormous question mark right now. There were reports earlier in the week that said Sasha was in the process of fighting for her release. Other reports said Sasha was already granted her release from WWE, and even other reports that claimed Sasha Banks was released from WWE several weeks ago and how it's been kept well under wraps. WWE hasn't released any updates on Sasha Banks' status since all the contract rumors have been floating around. Sasha is still reportedly listed on the internal roster as well. So Sasha's contract situation is a confusing mess right now that no one seems to be fully sure about right now. Sasha can either be already released, be in the process of being released, or not released at all. All three options are still possibilities because the situation and reports are just all over the place there for Sasha's contract status. As far as Naomi goes, she's returning to Twitter and Instagram on a more frequent basis. Naomi even posted a video of the family watching SmackDown to support her family Jimmy Uso and brother-in-law Jey Uso. Naomi's situation hasn't changed much at all. While Sasha's contract status is all over the news right now and is a very big mystery, everything with Naomi remains completely quiet. And despite WWE saying that there'll be a tournament to crown the new women's tag team champions 4 days after the walkout, WWE has made zero mentions of the tournament ever since. So no one even knows the status of the women's tag team titles themselves. WWE has made no mentions of future plans for the women's tag team titles. So not only is Sasha and Naomi's status a mystery, but no one even knows what's going on with the actual women's tag team titles. But that's the latest brief update regarding the former women's tag team champions Sasha Banks and Naomi. Some absolutely devastating news has just come out for Raw's Judgment Day. It was literally just 2 weeks ago where it seemed like the Judgment Day was on top of the world. The Judgment Day kicked out Edge and replaced him with heel-turning Finn Balor. We talked about how it was the biggest and most unexpected shock since Alexa Bliss turned on The Fiend. Storyline-wise, it didn't make much sense and had no build-up at all. So that's why it was quite shocking there for Judgment Day. But reports claim that WWE was about to take the Judgment Day in an extreme supernatural direction and how Edge allegedly wanted no role in that idea, so they removed him. There's no confirmation on that report, but it was just something that was going around. So Edge was suddenly removed and replaced with Finn Balor. We also discussed how Edge was basically the saving grace for Judgment Day. The group would not get lost in the shuffle with a legendary superstar like Edge leading them. But once we saw Edge get kicked out of the group, well, now all bets were off. There's a slightly higher chance now that Judgment Day could get put on the back burner and forgotten about in the future. The first night of Finn's addition to the group was great. Not only did they beat down Edge, Rhea Ripley became #1 contender for the Raw Women's title. So Judgment Day stood tall at the end of Raw too. Then the following week, Judgment Day appeared on the Tron to talk with Bianca Belair. Then the following week, everything fell apart for the Judgment Day. It gets confirmed that Rhea Ripley is not medically cleared to compete right now and still won't be cleared for her scheduled match at Money in the Bank. Where and how did Rhea Ripley get hurt at? Some fans are pointing to the fatal 4-way match from the same night that Rhea became the #1 contender. After taking a tag team move from Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, Rhea's knee hit direct into her own mouth with vicious impact, so a lot of fans feel like that was the injury spot. So Rhea was removed from the title match and replaced with Carmella. A lot of fans were excited for the Bianca versus Rhea match, but in a way, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Sure, we don't get to see her at Money in the Bank, but maybe now we get a chance of seeing the match on an even bigger stage like SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley took to Twitter to address her injury by simply tweeting out the single word, "soon." As far as Damian Priest and Finn Balor, it looks like they were kept off of Raw with nothing to do because of Rhea's status. Damian Priest and Finn Balor's only real ongoing feud right now is with Edge, but with Edge being written off for a while with a storyline injury and Rhea being gone, Priest and Balor are pretty much hanging around with nothing to do. Damian Priest and Finn Balor appeared on WWE's Main Event show this week to take on the Mysterios. As everyone knows, Main Event is pretty much a throwaway WWE show that doesn't contain any storyline progression. It's basically just an extension show for the superstars that don't have a big role on Raw. So when fans in attendance for the Main Event taping saw Damian Priest and Finn Balor coming on the show, they had to do a double take because everyone thought they would have a big role on Raw, especially 1 or 2 weeks after Edge's removal. That was also the discussion amongst fans. All it took was 2 weeks after Edge's exit for the Judgment Day to be on Main Event. Is it a bad sign for the future of the Judgment Day? Well, it's still too early to tell because this is all probably happening because of Rhea's injury. If Rhea was fully cleared, the entire Judgment Day likely would still be on Raw this week. So you can't say that they've been forgotten about already. It appears that this is all just in relation to that injury. Once Rhea is fully healthy and returns, then we could probably see what direction they take them in. A lot of people were still having discussion about who's the leader now that Edge is gone, but it now appears that there is still no clear-cut leader. They're all treating themselves like equals. However, it'll be interesting to see what the feud will look like when Edge returns. Does Edge select Finn Balor or Damian Priest to face in a singles match, or will Edge bring in a partner for a tag team match? Lots of endless possibilities there as well. We'll likely see that story pick back up for SummerSlam. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.